Right now, a pleasure to welcome Kevin Campbell to the live line. Kevin is a cybersecurity expert and CEO of Syniti. Kevin, give me the thumbnail. What do you do there at Syniti?
At Syniti, we're a data management company, so we help people unlock the potential of their data.
Okay.
And we also help them secure their data and decide, what data needs to be super secure and what data just needs to be semi-secure.
I feel like all of it should be super secure. I don't like to know that anybody's poking around in my business.
Yeah, when it comes to our personal lives, right, the data is, very important to us, and we want to make sure that we keep it protected. And there's some easy ways we can do to make sure that we're keeping our data protected.
Okay, let's talk through that. I mean, you're a cybersecurity expert. As I read over the last week or so, online shopping up as much as 70%. It's easy. With COVID on, people are less likely to want to go out and be in retail environments. So with so many more people spending so much more money online, what do I really need to focus on to make sure that I'm secure when I'm having those transactions?
You know what? Fortunately, it's the fundamentals, right? It's the stuff that we all know but don't like to do, which is to have a complex password, to change that password frequently, to use two-factor authentication when it's available, to be able to avoid phishing attacks, and be careful with emails. Because the biggest way that people get in is by guessing your password. So if you got a complex one, you're not going to be there. And the second thing is by sending you a bogus email. And you click on that email, and all of a sudden now they've got your identity, and they've got a way to get into your account.
Yeah, well, they've gotten so much better at it now. Sometimes you get emails, and even if you're paying attention, some of them look so good and so real. And it's like, wow, I did just kind of do that. It seems like it's just a follow-up. I understand how people get caught on that, Kevin.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm amazed myself at some of the stuff that looks like it comes from, Microsoft or Apple, some of the trusted people,
yeah.
Right? The way you check, though, is hover over, if you have any doubt at all, right? Hover over the email and make sure that the from matches the email. So what you'll find a lot of times is it looks like a Microsoft email or an Apple email, but when you hover over it, the email address is Sally in India or Joe in the UK.
It's a pretty easy tell. What's the percentage of people that actually do that? It seems so easy, but I'll bet it's got to be less than half.
Oh, sure. Way, way, way less than half of the people that do it. And usually it's people who've been burnt, right?
Yeah.
And had to spend a whole bunch of time. Because the first thing they do is email all your friends, pretending that they're you, and getting their emails back. So then all your friends get mad at you.
When you talk about that password, a complicated password, and you say change it often, what is often? Is that a weekly, a monthly, a biannually, what?
30 days.
Really? I got to change my password every month?
Correct. And you should have different passwords for your shopping than you do for your banking. So that's an easy extra step. But you know what? And that's why they catch us, because human nature is we're lazy, and we don't like to change those things, and remembering passwords is no fun. So there is password vault software that actually remembers your passwords for you and changes them for you. So that's an extra expense, but it's something you can use by typing in a password vault and buying the software.
It almost seems like, though, Kevin, if I'm doing that, then I'm opened another door to someone getting in. I mean, if I'm paying someone else to do something I can do it myself, then, what's to keep the hacker from going after them and getting a whole bunch of them rather than just coming individually one at a time after people like you and me?
Yeah, you're right. They'll spend twice as much time going after somebody like that because they can get a whole bunch. The advantage is that those companies have a lot more resources than you do individually to come up with encryption and using random passwords. And they will change them frequently. So the question is, if you do what you're supposed to, that's better. But if you don't do what you're supposed to, this is the next best step.
Yeah, and you talk about the complicated type of password and those kinds of things. Often you'll use something that you can remember that makes sense. When they're trying to guess them, as you say, do they do the things like password 1, A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, stuff like that? Or are they looking at maybe like your Facebook, your Twitter, and whatever, and then trying to make an educated guess if you are one of those people that actually tries?
It depends on the thief, right? So a lot of them are going to use random password generators, and they have a list of common passwords that people use, and so they go guess those. But a survey that I saw recently said that over 50% of people, the password was password. So it doesn't take too much creativity to get that one, right?
No, it really doesn't. So just to kind of bring it into perspective, what kind of hits are the bad guys getting? I mean, are they stealing passwords and getting into your phone and computer 10% of the time, a quarter of the time, half the time? How big of a problem is this really?
I think that there's no statistics, official statistics, because people don't like to admit that they were hacked and that there was a problem. But I would say, they're probably being successful 5% of the time.
Wow.
And they're getting better, right? In many countries, the criminal organizations hire the best and brightest out of schools and are paying them great starting salaries in order to, have a life of cybercrime.
Well, that might be the most sobering thing you said there. Hiring the best and brightest to hack people. That is no good at all. Eye-opening stuff. Kevin, thank you very much for the visit and the info. Kevin Campbell, a cybersecurity expert. He's CEO of Syniti.